I thought Daisy was the love of my life. Our story started like a fairy tale. I was a struggling artist, and she was this bright, bubbly woman who saw something in me no one else did. She became my muse, my biggest supporter. With her by my side, my art started getting noticed. We got married, bought a beautiful house, and for a while, everything was perfect. I poured all my love, my success, my entire world into our life together. I trusted her completely. Maybe that was my first mistake. The first crack appeared subtly. A late night at work she couldn't quite explain. A new, expensive perfume I'd never smelled before. She'd get defensive when I asked simple questions, turning it around on me, making me feel like I was the one being unreasonable. She'd say, "Henry, don't you trust me? After all we've been through?" And like a fool, I'd back down, ashamed of my own suspicions. I wanted to believe in the woman I married, the woman I loved more than anything, but the signs kept piling up. Whispered phone calls she'd take in another room. The way her phone was suddenly guarded like a state secret, always face down, always with her. One evening, I came home early from the gallery, wanting to surprise her. The house was empty. Her car was gone. I called her, and she said she was stuck in a meeting, that it would run late. But a receipt on the kitchen counter told a different story. It was from a fancy restaurant across town, time-stamped just an hour earlier, a table for two. My heart sank. The denial I'd been clinging to started to crumble. I needed proof. I didn't want to become one of those snooping, insecure husbands, but I couldn't live with the doubt eating me alive. A friend of mine, a tech guy, reluctantly helped me. He showed me how to check phone location data, something she'd enabled long ago and forgotten about. The next time she said she was working late, I checked. Her location wasn't her office building. It was a boutique hotel on the other side of the city. Driving there was the longest drive of my life. Every traffic light felt like an eternity. My hands were shaking on the steering wheel, and a cold dread washed over me. I parked across the street, my heart pounding in my chest, and then I saw them. Daisy, my Daisy, walking out of the hotel lobby, laughing, holding hands with another man. He leaned in and kissed her, a long, lingering kiss that shattered my world into a million pieces. I didn't confront them, just drove away, tears blurring my vision. The man she was with, I recognized him. He was a wealthy collector, someone who had bought a few of my paintings. The irony was sickening. The success she had supposedly championed for me was the very thing that led her to him. All those late nights, the business trips, it all clicked into place. Our entire life felt like a lie. When I got home, I felt numb. The vibrant colors of my paintings seemed to mock me from the walls. Everything we had built together was tainted. When Daisy finally came home, humming a cheerful tune, she froze when she saw the look on my face. She asked what was wrong. I didn't yell. I didn't scream. I just said, "I know, Daisy. I know about the hotel. I know about him." The color drained from her face. At first, she tried to deny it, the same old routine. "Henry, you're being ridiculous. You're imagining things." But when I laid out the evidence, the restaurant receipt, the phone location, the fact that I saw them, the facade crumbled, and that's when the truth, her truth, finally came out. It was worse than I could have ever imagined. She didn't just admit to cheating. She told me she never really loved me. She saw me as an investment. It's a talented, naive artist she could mold and profit from. She admitted she used my passion and my love for her as stepping stones to get into a world of wealth and luxury she craved. The collector was her endgame. My success was just the audition. She told me, with cold, chilling honesty, that my love for her was a weakness she exploited. Every word of encouragement, every loving glance, had been a calculated move. She said, "I made you, Henry. Without me, you'd still be painting in some rundown studio, barely making rent." Her words were designed to break me, to strip away not just our marriage, but my own sense of self-worth. She wanted to make me believe I was nothing without her. That night, my love for Daisy died, and in its place grew a quiet, steely resolve. I didn't let her break me. That day, I contacted a lawyer. I packed up my studio. The house, the money, the life we built. I realized it was all just a cage she had built around me. Letting it all go was surprisingly easy. The only thing that mattered was getting myself back. The divorce was messy, but I didn't fight for the material things. I let her have the house, the car, a chunk of the money. My lawyer thought I was crazy, but I knew what I was doing. I was buying my freedom. I was cutting away the cancer that had infected my life. While she was busy dividing assets, I was busy rediscovering my art, my passion. I moved into a small, sunlit studio downtown. For the first time in years, I painted for myself. Not for a gallery, not for a buyer, and certainly not for Daisy. I poured all the pain, the betrayal, the anger, and ultimately the healing onto my canvases. My work became raw, honest, and more powerful than ever before. My art, which she had tried to claim as her creation, became my salvation. A few months later, I had my first solo exhibition since the divorce. The gallery was packed. People weren't just seeing paintings. They were seeing a story of heartbreak and resilience. A well-known critic wrote a review that went viral. He said my new work had a depth and an emotional honesty that was previously missing. He said it was the work of an artist who had been to hell and back and had returned with something beautiful. I never saw Daisy again, though I heard she was with the collector for a while before he moved on to his next shiny new thing. My life, on the other hand, flourished. My art career reached new heights, not because of her, but in spite of her. I found love again, a real love, built on honesty and mutual respect, not transactions. Looking back, the betrayal still stings, but I no longer see it as my biggest mistake. It was a brutal, painful lesson. It taught me the difference between being loved and being used. It forced me to find a strength I never knew I had. She thought she could take everything from me, but she couldn't take my talent, and she couldn't take my spirit. In trying to destroy me, she inadvertently set me free. My name is Henry, and this is the story of how my greatest heartbreak led to my greatest triumph. Thank you for listening.